Hey guys, Joe Warnick coming back in with a battle replay here for Room 2. It's going to be a 1v1 pitch battle, large armies. As you can see, there's a lot of units on this side. We'll go over some army comps. We have Mesacely taking on Athens, so we'll go over the Mesacely army first. That is being commanded by Dan the Man from the Hungry Wolves. He's got 6 units of his Desert Legionnaires here in his front line, coming straight all the way across here. He's also got 3 units of cohort on this side, 3 units on the other flank here. He's got a pretty good mirrored army. He's total is 6 units of the noble infantry here, another 3 units on this side. He's brought a couple of 5 units of the Numidian skirmishers here. He's got a whole host of cavalry, and I'll get to that in a moment. He's got 2 units of the desert cavalry back here. He's got 2 other units of the Desert Legionnaire Cavalry here. He's brought 3 units of the Desert Chariots and his Armored Numidian Riders General. All the way back over here, behind Athens' lines, he's got 3 units of his Numidian Riders over here, 3 more on this side. So that's going to be a pretty cool little ambush thing. And out in front here, he's got 3 little lonely units of Gatuli tribesmen. They are not going to fare very well here. As you can see, they are not armored in any way. They have a sword. So we'll see how that goes for them. Getting to the Athens army, who is being commanded by Spartan Saki or Sakai. I'm not entirely sure how to say your name. At his front line here, he's got 6 units of his Thurio spears. He's also brought with him 6 units of pick hoplites. In some on his flanks, more in his rear line here. He's also brought 3 units of Cretan archers. He's got 3 units of Rhodian slingers. Also has 4 units of the Carantine Cav. He's got these are Hippotis lancers. Sorry, he's got 4 units of Hippias lancers. He's got 2 on either side, being right behind 2 units of the Tarentine cavalry on either side. He also has a unit of mercenary veteran hoplites backing up the Hippias Lancers. His general is also a unit of Hippias Lancers, and there's another Hippias Lancer here in the rear. Also, way back here on the flank, he's got 3 units of Thorax Swordsmen. Not entirely sure what they're over here to do, because he wouldn't have been able to see these 3 units of horse until the battle started, so maybe he forgot he had them while he was doing his army setup. I'm not entirely sure. So we have a 22-minute, 10-second battle here. Let's get this one going here. See what Athens does when they first see the Gatuli tribesman here automatically charging out his Tarentine cavalry on this side. Also bringing out... Is he bringing all of his cavalry out? Looks like he's bringing out all 4 of his units of Tarentine cavalry and all 4 units of his Hippias lancers that were on his flanks. Dan is quickly moving in his 3 units of Numidian riders that were back here, and with the cavalry out of the way, he will have a choice to go here. He'll be able to take out these Rhodian slingers pretty quickly. The other 3 units of the Numidian riders that were on this side have gone around the Thorax swordsman, probably going to do the exact same on this side. He's going to have a free run in of these Cretan archers and the Rhodian slingers over here because of the 3 units of the Gatuli, sorry if I'm saying that wrong, the Gatuli tribesmen that were out here. This is a little bit of an overkill. As you can see, yeah, the riders have already gotten into the 2 units of ranged over here. He has charged a unit of his Numidian riders into the general on this side and the Hippias Lancers, charging in units here again into more of the Cretan archers and Rhodian slingers. Mercenary veteran hoplites now trying to come in. Really going to try and pin down the Numidian riders here. And yeah, we just have a whole lot of craziness going on. All of these units now not doing anything. They're just kind of standing here. This player, Spartan Saki, is trying to contain as best as he can. I mean, he's got a lot of his picked hoplites, coming in and shutting down the Numidian riders, locking them into place. So that'll be good for them. This unit of Numidian riders is locked in and also getting shot at by the Thurio spears. Pilas here. Big charge in. Numidian riders into several units. A couple units of picked hoplites. And a unit of Hippias Lancers, one of the units of the Numidian Riders, has now routed off the battlefield. They have 15 men left in that one. So Dan is basically just causing a massive headache back here. I mean, look at the lines of the Athens army. They're kind of all over the place. I'm guessing that was his intent, was to throw off the formations here. I mean, he's definitely taken out a couple of units. He's taken out a couple of units of the ranged here. Knocked down the Cretan archers. Some of the Rhodian slingers units are definitely not at full strength anymore. Hippias Lancers now returning back into their rear lines. Maybe coming over here to get rid of this unit of Numidian Riders. Another unit of Numidian Riders out here. Maybe he's going to flank out and front over here to take out these Thracian Peltists and Rhodian Slingers that are just standing out here completely undefended. A lot of cavalry sitting right here, though. Hopefully somebody's going to be able to get over here and get this. Oh, this unit is Thurio Spears. Dan at the last second loses a couple there. Actually lost a decent amount there. Still maybe be able to get a good charge in on this unit of Rhodian Slingers. Still getting peppered down by Thurio Spears fire and some of the Tarentine archers. Camels. I'm not sure why I said camels. Probably because Athens is on the field. Thurio Spears. Thorax Swordsman. There we go. Sorry about that again. Now coming back and around. It seems that Athens has taken care of all of the cavalry forces that Dan had thrown out here at first. Let's see, is he starting to move the rest? Yes. So now Dan Masacely is going to start moving up his lines, and as you can see, they are definitely spread out further. They're more heavy on this side, on the left flank, than they are on the right flank. Which, if Athens stays with this army setup or this army formation here, Dan will have a pretty easy way of just coming straight in with these lines and wrapping around the edges. Let's see how many cavalry Athens still has. He does have a decent amount of cavalry, actually. He's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 units of Hippias Lancers still, and he still has all of his... Where are his... There they are. 1, 2, 3, 4 units of his Tarentine cavalry. So he does still have a decent amount of cavalry, and Dan has his 2 Desert Legionnaires over there, 2 Desert Legionnaires over here. His 3 units of chariots, which I cannot wait to see what these chariots are going to be able to do. Chariots are just deadly. Absolutely disgusting. And he also still has his Armored Numidian Raiders General. So Dan is moving up slowly. No reason to run. No reason to tire out his troops. Understandable completely. Athens seems to be reforming his lines. I mean, Dan's job here was to take out a bunch of the ranged and try and get some rear charges in onto some of the infantry units. I think he did a fantastic job clearing out. He at least wiped off at least 2 or 3 units of the ranged here, clipped down a whole bunch of units. I mean, this unit of Peltas has survived, but there are other ones that are depleted, lost at least a couple of men in them. So, I mean, this one unit right here, Rhodian Slinger, 16 men left. So, and he also was able to successfully throw off the Athens players' game plan, I guess. I mean, he's having to spend all of this time now to reform his lines as Dan is continuing to move forward here with all of his units. All walking still as the Athens player, who's Spartan Sakai, is just running. He has to now run all of his troops all around. He's got all these guys up in the front line here are fresh. Cavalry is still fresh here. So, okay, I guess it's not as bad as I thought it was. All of his units still seem to be fresh here, so that's good. That's at least good for him. That's a check mark on his side. Because tired troops will obviously not fight as well as fresh troops. So we have still more of Athens moving his armies around, fixing up his lines. Now they are not bunching up, but they have a very tight-knit formation here, which is gonna, just right off the bat, gonna give Dan a advantage, because he's gonna be able to come around. I guess we're gonna have to see. I mean, he still, like I said, he still does have a decent amount of cavalry, so Dan's only got the 4 units of the cavalry and the chariots. I mean, not counting his general. So we're going to have to see what that's... okay, so Athens is now starting to spread his midlines out a little bit further. So he's starting to try and mirror a little bit of what Dan is doing here. Seems like he's trying to... Seems like Spartan Sakai is trying to mirror a little bit of what Dan is doing, which is not a bad idea. I mean, he's spreading out his formations, he's spreading out his lines, so he won't be easily enveloped. Because once that happens, once your enemy starts getting guys in behind your units, it's not usually a good thing. Now, Dan is still continuing to move up his entire force. Seems that Athens has his lines. He's still moving a couple of units of his slingers around. A unit of veteran hoplites is moving. Tarentine cavalry, he's got all 4 units on this side. So that's actually pretty good. They can do a lot of damage, and they're pretty fast. Does Rome give speed? It does not. But they are pretty fast. I mean, they're not wearing a whole lot of armor, as you can see. They have shields, but they're really not heavy armored. They're medium missile cavalry, so they will be able to outrun his cavalry over here. There's his cavalry back over there. I know it's medium melee, so maybe they'll be able to catch up with them. But the Tarentine cavalry will be able to fire from a distance, and the Legionnaire cavalry will have to try and catch up to them. We have still more units moving around. Yeah, thorax swordsmen back here in the rear lines are starting to move around a little bit. So let's get a little bit of a fast... Oh, wait. Cavalry starting to move up from Dan's side. Coaxing in the Hippias Lancers, I think. It's moving over his Numidian skirmishers, which they just throw javelins, but let's see what their melee attack 30, weapon damage 35, melee defense 43. Not too bad. 45 armor. It's pretty good. Should be a pretty good melee unit. He's pushing out a unit of his Numidian noble infantry here to catch off the Hippias Lancers. This Hippias Lancers unit has been caught up by the 2 units of the Legionnaire cavalry on this side. Hippias Lancers still moving around, getting a lot of volleys in from the Numidian. Took out a decent amount of them. We have a unit of the mercenary veteran hoplites now coming up, trying to catch up to this unit of noble infantry here. Hippias Lancers here are completely sandwiched between 2 units of the Legionnaire cavalry, so that the Hippias Lancers unit may still be around. We'll have to see. Still trying to pull this unit of Hippias Lancers all the way around, trying to catch up to these well-defended Numidian skirmishers here. Skirmishers are a little bit too far out. Nope, this unit of mercenary hoplites are going to continue pushing forward. Unit of Hippias Lancers getting a little bit of a free ride here, free run through. Let's check out the other side real quick. Oh, he had moved up his 4 units of Tarentine cavalry. They are getting some shots onto the Legionnaires here. Not taking any damage yet, but they are taking damage to their hit points or to their armor. Hippias Lancers coming through the rear lines. Gonna try. Are they gonna get this charge in onto Numidians? No. Yes. Okay. He's turned again. He's coming into the Numidian skirmishers here. Good charge. I mean, it's a pretty depleted unit of Hippias Lancers, but still a pretty good charge. Took out 15 men on the charge and still dropping numbers, but here comes the Macecily general here in to probably cut off and finish off this unit of Hippias Lancers. Dan has moved his 3 units of chariots onto this side as the cavalry presence on this side of Athens' army is heavier than the cavalry presence over here. This unit of Hippias Lancers still being cut down. Numidian skirmishers here getting some really good shots in onto the veteran hoplites. I don't know if I would be using their ammunition for right now, though, as this unit was surrounded by 2 units of the noble infantry. Athens is now starting up to push the rest of his front line up here. Dan is quickly trying to push a unit of Numidian infantry back around over to meet up with the other 2 units here. Trying to continue to hold his lines up. Tarentine cavalry are now circling in around behind some of the noble infantry on this side. Are they out of ammunition? I don't think they are. Well, maybe they are because they're holding spears in their hands, so they might be out of ammunition. And the other three units still have some ammunition, but they are getting some shots off as they're moving. Oh, they do throw. They just throw spears. Okay, I didn't know if they were bow cavalry. I haven't really messed with missile cavalry very much. 2 units of the Legionnaire cavalry coming over from Dan's left flank here, trying to cut off the Tarentine cavalry here from Sparta Sakai's Athens charge in. He's going to be able to catch one of the units here, which is going to be good. Second unit of the Tarentine cavalry has gotten a good charge in onto the back of some of the Numidian skirmishers. Numidian skirmishers have not lost a single man, and the Macecily general has now been able to get over here to cut them off. And we have some clashing coming in here at the front lines. Actually, Athens doing something I don't recall ever seeing in a field battle as far as infantry. He's actually placed all of his Thurio spears here into their square formation. What it's called? I think it's called square formation. That's interesting. I've never actually seen that happen on a pitch battle like this before. At least for an infantry battle. Let's scroll in here, get some battle shots. Long lines. I wonder if Dan maybe should hit attack again on these units. They'll get wrapped around, but it wouldn't really matter because Thurio spears are in squares. So it serves a purpose. Definitely looks like it serves a purpose because the spears won't be able to be attacked from any one side. Big charge in here. Lots of spears. Okay, this is going to be a good charge in. Battle lines have met on this side. Battle lines are obviously going full in the center, and battle lines on this side have still yet to meet over here. Still a lot of cavalry moving around. Danny's using one of his units of the Legionnaire cavalry to chase down the Tarentine cavalry, and he's getting dangerously close. He's dangerously close to the line here and to the corner, so hopefully this unit still has their skirmish ability on, so they'll continue to run away from those archers. Let's get in here. We got pikes moving in now from Athens. This is going to be a difficult test for some of these desert legionnaires. They're still in their formation, so they're not getting anybody around the sides. Good job here by these peltists, or the slingers, I should say, getting some really good kills on this desert legionnaire unit. Well done there. That's great. Mercenary hoplites moving in against 2 units of desert legionnaires. Numidian skirmishers quickly forming in behind them, maybe to try and get some shots off onto some of the Hippias lancers. I don't think they can throw that far, but maybe to try and get some shots off onto units as they are charging in when they start to do that. So Dan has cleared out this flank completely. Let's see how he's doing on the other flank over here. He's doing pretty well. This is actually pretty good play here by Dan. He's using 2 units of depleted Legionnaire cavalry, funneling away from the battlefield a unit of Hippias lancers and 3 units of Thracian peltasts. These 3 units could absolutely be used up on the front line. Well done there by Dan. He's also got another unit of his Desert Legionnaire cavalry over here, coming into the back lines. Let's see, what could be a good picking? He could try and come all the way around over to here, hit into these Cretan archers and slingers. That'd be a pretty good target to come in on. We have a unit of pikemen here, slowly in pike formation. Just look at that. That's a meat grinder. That's just that is a porcupine of death if I have ever seen one. Two units of Numidian infantry have surrounded a unit of picked hoplites, but I don't think this is going to work out because the noble infantry have their backs to pikes. That is not going to be a good thing for Dan. He quickly turns this unit of Numidian infantry around to charge into the pikes. And yeah, the Desert Legionnaire cavalry had charged into the Cretan archers. Good job getting them off the field. Picked hoplites here taking on a unit of Numidian skirmishers. They are getting... Okay, they have been broken off of the field. Fantastic. Dan still with those 2 units of the riders back over here, now being charged in by Hippias lancers. Maybe he forgot they were back here, or he feels like maybe he did a good enough job. He's trailed away pretty much 4 full units away from the battlefield with 2 depleted units. So that was pretty good. Little trickery move there. Hippias Lancers on this side now getting a good charge, clean charge, into a full unit of Numidian Noble Infantry here from Sicily. Good job. Athens still moving more of his cavalry around. Wonder where he's going to try and go in. Maybe try and get a charge in onto these skirmishers here. Not entirely sure. Bunch of flags wavering. We're losing some Rhodian slingers. Oh, the desert chariots are in. Oh, I missed it. Let's see what the cavalry over here is broken. Where are the other chariots? There's a unit of chariots here. Where are the rest of his chariots? Oh, did I miss all of the chariots? Sorry. That sucks. Sorry. Ooh, good charge in here, though. Clearing out a couple men off this pike unit. Where's he turned them to? He's got them charging into some of the picked hoplites, clearing out a couple more of them. Retreating the lone unit of chariots that he still has back. He's definitely got this flank pretty much well contained. He does have... Oh, there's a unit of the chariots over here. They are routing. See if maybe they'll come back. They do have 8 men. How many kills were they able to get? 101. So not too bad. Another unit over here with 160. They are routing as well. A couple more units of the Athens army are starting to waver. Unit of Thurio Spears here wavering, but they have corrected themselves. There was another unit right here. Mercenary hoplites, they have broken and are running away. The Sicily General is moving up just a little bit, but here comes the Athens General as well. I wonder, are we going to have some General v. General combat here? Dan again was able to wrap some more of his units around into the rear of these Thurio Spears here, so good job. Broken that unit. They have 27 men for that unit left. Very well. Very, very well done. We got some slingers on this side, getting some really good heavy shots in onto the desert cohort from the side here. Good flanking fire as they're chasing down Hippias Lancers. This unit of cavalry was the one that chased off the unit of Tarentine cavalry over on this side, coming back into the battle. Numidian infantry chasing down some Hippias Lancers just to make sure. There are still 23 of them, so I understand why he's chasing them down rather than not come back. Now look at this. See that 2 units of depleted cavalry has left 4 units back over here that could absolutely be being used up on this front line. Peltasts are pretty good. They are javelin capabilities, and they're pretty good in melee, I believe. Pretty sure they are. Yeah. Attack 34, damage 35, armor 30, melee defense 45. So yeah, they are pretty good in melee sorry. They are pretty good as a melee unit as well, along with being skirmishers. We do have some General v. General competition going on here. Athens General is completely surrounded, though. He's got a Sicily General and 2 units of... 1 unit of Legionnaires, 1 unit of cohorts surrounding him, and he is gone. So the Athens General has been routed off of the battlefield. The Sicily General is pulling out just in time before this unit of picked hoplites was able to get over here. Well done there. We have the Numidian skirmishers getting some good fire in on these picked hoplites. Now here comes, let's see what the Hippias Lancers here do. Where's he going to go with this unit? He could try and charge in on the side and get some good charges in on the cohort here. Or he looks... Okay, maybe he's going to try and just get a good charge in on the general, but the general from Sicily is now pulling away. And more the Legionnaire cavalry is pulling around. This unit of Hippias Lancers is going to get caught by the cavalry. Unit of Legionnaires coming in as well, and the general is returning back into combat. Hippias Lancers are getting through, getting away, pulling around, getting a good charge in onto some Numidian infantry here as well. Noble infantry still standing over there waiting. Maybe Dan doesn't realize that they're back over there. I mean, this is a large battle. It's 40 v 40, so I mean, this is a lot to deal with for either player, being only a 1v1. Hippias Lancers getting out of combat again, getting a good charge in on that unit of Numidian skirmishers. They knocked down a bunch of guys, but they are going to start getting up. unit is now breaking. 15 seconds left in the battle. As you can see, all of the units from Athens are wavering and breaking and leaving the battlefield. Well done there by Dan. Great battle by both of you guys, actually. A lot of good moves pulled off. Dan, in the beginning there, that cavalry charge, or the sneak attack, I should say, by your cavalry, well done. Not, like I said, I'm not entirely sure if you were trying to take out his ranged capabilities or just disrupt the order that he had in his army. Athens player, the Spartan Sakai, you did really well. I mean, you were able to spread your formations out, get some really good charges in with some cavalry. Well done with the with your ranged capabilities that you had still left after that beginning charge. I mean, you should take a look. These are three of the units, the Peltas, that survived, but we do have just a lot of bodies laying all around. Again, really good field battle. I like this. There was a lot of tactics involved. There was a lot of sneakiness, I guess, here by Dan in the beginning. That was really good. I liked that he had his three throwaway units in the front, and he came in the rear here with his cavalry. That was really good. Let's get into the post-battle army comps here. We will go with Athens first, who was commanded again by Spartan Sakai. I know I've said it a bunch of times during the video. I don't know, I prefer to say that kind of stuff. Prefer to say who's commanding who. His general with 86 kills. Hippias Lancers, the rest of them, 124, 71, 69, 75, and 159. So, not too bad. I mean, a couple of units over 100, but the rest of them did pretty well. Turrentine Cavalry, 57, 40, 46, and 41. I can't really say anything about Turrentine Cavalry. I don't use them, so I don't really know. The units of Cretan archers here that got charged in the beginning, that's these. I'm guessing 10, 53, 42, 40. Here we go with some 98, 109. Thracian Peltas, 65, 64, and 70. Picked Hoplites did pretty well overall. 161, 91, 101, 156. This unit only with 50. Probably ended up getting charged in the back, or maybe that was the unit that was surrounded by the Noble Spearmen and a unit of Legionnaires, and 132 to round off the picked Hoplites. We get into his Thorax Swordsmen, 136, 131, and 8. Pikemen, 82, 84, 36, 72. Mercenary Veteran Hoplites, 103, 67. The Hoplites were the guys that were backing up the Hippias Lancer Cavalry that were on his left and right flanks. And his frontline Thurio Spears, 71, 51, 58, 118, 79, and 23. So, overall, pretty well done. I mean, he did really well. I have to say that. He did really, really well. Both armies did. Let's get to Dan on the Macesali side. His general, 110 kills. Armored Desert Chariots, 101, 89, and 173. Dan, again, I'm sorry, man. I missed the majority of their kills there with the chariots. I was just so caught up and focused on other parts of the battle. There was so much going on. Desert Legionnaire Cavalry, 48, 50, 71, 197. Pretty good there. Numidian Riders, 13, 108, 41, 22, 71, and 59. These were the 6 units of the cavalry that came in on the rear of Athens' army. Numidian Skirmishers, 87, 99, 100, 172, 246. Really? Wow. I didn't think Numidian Skirmishers could get that high of kills. I didn't think they had that many javelins with them. Let's get into his desert cohort lines. 93, 42, 147, 251. Good job there. 193, another good job. 279. Okay. Desert Legionnaires, 146, 129, 170, 100, 71, and 126. Again, good showing here from the Desert Legionnaires. His Gaetuli Tribesmen, 7, 14, 8. Yeah, well, they're throwaways. And lastly, his Numidian Noble Infantry, 79, 92, 86, 113, 113, and 36. Again, guys, overall, really good battle. Dan, thanks for sending in the replay. Really enjoyed covering. Hope you guys like the content. If you do, please make sure to give me a like, a comment. Feel free to subscribe to the channel as well. I will talk to you guys soon.